Okay, guys, I admit, it really is that phone. Hello, everybody. I'm on Mark's Games, and today we're talking about social media and the effect it has on everybody. As some of you guys may know, that you all may remember a time where you grew up without any type of smartphones or social media in your life. You all just went outside or just played video games and that was it, or played on the computer and spent time with some family. Now, the crazy part is there's people who grew up in a digital era 100% without realizing that those things did not exist not too long ago. It's been like this for a while, but now we're starting to get to that age where even the younger kids don't even know what a Nintendo DS is anymore, and that shit is kind of scary. Being born in 1998 is kind of a weird year for me, and then a lot of people too, because like it was in between years of a early Gen Z and late millennial. So I got to grow up in two different generations at the same time, because I also had older siblings who also had AOL Messenger, MSN, MySpace, and of course, LimeWire, because holy shit, man. Like, I never used it, but I remember the chaos it endured. My older siblings got screamed at a lot for ruining my family's computer for downloading so much viruses from LimeWire. And then you have my generation as I got into high school, like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Vine, like all the other crazy social media stuff. And then that's when influencers started to rise a lot, too. After living in a social media society for a while, I've noticed that a lot of my old friends I used to have really had social media affect them in certain and weird ways. Like, there was this guy I knew, right, that he was the nicest and sweetest dude ever growing up, but then as soon as he got an Instagram, he tried to post pictures of himself pretending to be all gangster and stuff, like posting him in bandanas, having guns and stuff and everything. And the crazy part is, he grew up in a very suburban household because I was on the same neighbor and street as him, but his family was never like that, and he was never like that. Because all of a sudden, I guess there was people on the internet realizing that if you act a certain way on social media, you can get a certain number of likes and comments and shit. And that shit is kind of fucked up. Like, don't get me wrong, man. I get it. It feels good to get some high likes on something sometimes. But, like, when you're not making any type of money from it and you're doing it with, like, your personal life and you're trying to be someone you're completely not, in my opinion, it's just not worth it. Also, I never understood the impact of people like getting mad for leaving people on red, because I remember before Snapchat, people would get left undelivered all the time and it wouldn't be as big as a deal unless like you have a girl or someone that likes talking to you or something, or you like talking to them. But like other than that, dude, like seeing people leave you on red and stuff, like it really does fuck with their heads to the point where it's like, damn, why'd you leave me on red? But in reality, people are not really entitled to reply to you. And thankfully, I never picked up that toxicity or never embraced something like that, because I just knew that, yeah, this person's probably busy most of the time. And don't get me started on the people who get really cringy and they'll start like confronting their friend about leaving them on red only one time after, many times of talking to them and shit. It's like, bro, people are not entitled to their time. And I've noticed that social media has made a lot of people a lot more self-centered and narcissistic in horrible ways too. And unfortunately, due to smartphones, it really has led to a lot of us with a phone addiction, and the screen times on our phones are probably insane. Like for me, I have a horrible habit of checking my phone. I'm trying to break that habit. That's probably my New Year's resolution for next year is I would like to break that phone habit like a lot more often, because I have a habit of just mindlessly fucking tapping on the screen for no fucking reason, and I just hate it sometimes. When I was younger, I used to have a horrible habit of like texting people immediately super fast as soon as I get a message, but thankfully as I got older, I learned to control that a lot better. And yeah, now sometimes I'll go a few days without talking to some people on my phone. It just depends how busy I am. But yeah, it's just sometimes it just gets overwhelming to reply to everybody, and that's why it gets hard to fucking, text all the time. But recently it's been nice. I actually decided to start going outside more often, go on walks in the parks with my sister and everything, and it's been really nice being able to go outside, just talk about stuff, and then just be able to enjoy the moment for a while and just not talk about serious shit. Because there's also things on social media that also gives us easy access to that we probably would have not had access to if it weren't for it. And unless you're not being a content creator or something on social media, it really is the most least productive thing you could do if you do it all day. I honestly feel like if you're going to be a content creator on social media, if you want to do it as like a job or just for a passion project or something, at least just be 100% yourself when you're doing your content, man, because it's a lot more refreshing, I've noticed, because there's a lot of fake shit on social media, and especially on YouTube. I do kind of miss older like videos on the internet at times, because some of those videos you'd find, like, yes, there were some fake ones, but most of them were not always clickbait. Like, there were some ones that were actually very genuine, like to the title and stuff, like the ones that were people were falling or something, or some funny ass accident, or even pranks too. I remember there was a lot more genuine pranks than they are now. I also noticed that there's a lot of people who are willing to risk their health just to get some views and make some good money on the internet, which is kind of insane, because I did see a video of a guy trying to like not blink his eyes for over an hour. And while it isn't an original video topic and shit, it's not a very good idea, because us humans need to fucking blink, you know? And this guy did it for like 2 hours or 3 hours. I'm like, bro, like, you're gonna fucking die doing shit like that to yourself. Like, don't risk your health for some damn YouTube fame or whatever the hell you want. And I admit too that when I was younger on my main channel, I used to make videos about certain topics I really was not that interested in, just to get some YouTube views, and it did pay off, but unfortunately, I was not really into it anymore, because it did feel like I was selling my soul. So obviously I decided to stop doing that shit, and I'm actually very grateful and a lot happier. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have social media, because there's a lot of good benefits of being a content creator if you can be honest and have some integrity. All I'm saying is that we all need to balance our lives from social media and technology in general, and try to live a more natural and fulfilling life while still have the reaps and benefits of social media. Because I feel like if we can weed out too much of the not toxic, negative, bad shit, I feel like we live a lot happier lives, like I said, and we just be better in general. I know dopamine feels really good to a lot of y'all, but we all really need to cut back on it, because we're going to somehow overdose on dopamine stimulation. Also, I think we all should not be selling our souls on social media, dude, because it will just end up losing ourselves. I know a friend who was a woman who wanted to, get more likes on social media, but she wasn't really into that type, to sell her body and shit. But some of her friends were telling her to like shake her ass, or like, flaunt her body with more exposing clothing and shit. And it was kind of fucked up, because her own friends were basically telling her to basically be someone that she's not. And I think it's crazy that a lot of people are willing to go that far just to get some attention, and I think it's really sad. Social media is an extremely powerful tool, and I think a lot more people should be more aware of that. Don't let social media run your life. We should be able to have all balance and control of everything we want to do. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys have any questions or any comments you'd like to leave, feel free to leave them down below. What is your guys' thoughts about social media? Do you think that we should really have it, or do you think it should be a lot more restricted? I know there are some restrictions coming a lot more involving child safety and everything, but sometimes I still feel like it's not enough, man, because I feel like if it weren't for it, child safety wouldn't be as severe, I feel like.